Hello, my name is Grace Fulton. I graduated from the University of South Carolina-Aiken in May of 2021, and I'm currently pursuing my master's in political communication at American University. I'm excited to share my research from my last semester today. I also want to thank my faculty advisor, Dr. Jason Munsell, for all of his help and guidance. My study focused on applying William Benoit's functional analysis theory of political campaigns and television advertisements to the South Carolina senatorial race. I see my own study as a part of the ongoing scholarly conversations concerning the investigation of political polarization and how politicians engage with potential voters. For example, Walter Ong's proposal of the television being among the most dominant emotional drivers in our everyday lives pushed me to examine visual advertisements, and Mary Stuckey's focus on how media attention during campaigns has led to elections being shallowly personal instead of deeply political led me to be interested in this exact study. And although research has been done, mine is a little different since it's only focused on South Carolina and the unique circumstances of the 2020 election. Taking place amidst a pandemic and alongside a hotly contested presidential election, both with vastly different candidates, this senatorial race was sure to be worth examining. My study shows a departure from the expectations of Benoit's well-established theory. While the claims are usually more prevalent in advertisements, attacks were heavily favored. And while policy is more often discussed than character, the opposite was found in this study. To arrive at these findings, I first transcribed and coded a sample of 16 television advertisements, with 8 from each candidate. These were all found on the candidates' campaign pages. Each functional statement identified was coded as an acclaim, an attack, or a defense. Each functional statement was additionally coded as either addressing policy or character to determine the most prominent trends of the advertisements. Let me briefly detail the results. Attacks outweighed acclaims heavily, with attacks comprising 67.62% of statements. The Harrison campaign was the more attack-heavy candidate, relying on attacks for 71% of the statements made in his advertisements. Although not as drastic, Graham was a fan of this approach as well, with around 64% of the statements within his ads being attacks. Character was also discussed more frequently in campaign ads, with 58.1% of remarks being based around the topic. Jamie Harrison had the highest figure in this area, with 65.2% of his remarks being focused around character. While there's less disparity between these topics, Lindsey Graham also still frequented the topic, with 52% of remarks being focused on character. I think my study has several implications. First, I think it is noteworthy that both candidates, with vastly different public policy platforms, had similar campaigning strategies. The variation between the two was not remarkable. This is indicative of a larger trend in political advertising, appealing to voters by evoking negative emotions towards an opponent instead of pursuing positive emotions about the candidate putting out the advertisement. Second, these emotions are magnified when discussing an opponent's shortcomings as a person instead of as a politician. Attacks on character get reactions, and reactions affect votes. Voters have to not just like the politician, but the person. Further investigation into this issue could include an analysis of debates and visual aspects of these television advertisements. I believe more research needs to be done in this area, both examining other past elections and the trends we will see in the future. Expanding this research to beyond the Southeast and even beyond the US would show the prevalence of this issue and how immediate its results will affect us. I am really excited to share my work here and learn more about the other submissions as well. I'm looking forward to talking soon. Thank you.